Shit. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I almost get a John Stax vibe from him. But I shouldn't mean, I want to know if he's a human trafficker. Official. I bet he is. Nasty, evil people. Evil people. I don't even like to look. Evil. Evil communist. Evil pigs of Satan. There's that name, Zach. See, with no specific ages. See, I like to learn the ages because I can learn about what time the people stole my sperm. I don't like you, Governor Abbott. Evil human beings. Now, who's the Zach? Cecila's daughter, Lisa. The 2023 one's going to be probably for me. There's that people.com. You see what I said? I hate people.com. I hate people.com. I'd like to sue people.com. It's going to happen. The wages of prostitution. It's going to happen. Book of Micah. It's going to happen with the 10 kings. I won't end up having to sue anybody, I don't think. When that day busts out internationally, the attack on Babylon the Great. Say it again. Jehovah God is stated in Revelation. Let's read it. I'm doing a screen recording. Maybe I'll go back up there and try to upload it. Due to the Joe Biden government, Donald Trump government, Mike Huckabee government, Sarah Sanders government, Gavin Newsom government, even though Governor Abbott, I'm not allowed American civil liberties. People.com is dead. People.com, People Magazine is dead. Like people that do evil work, like Bob Clausen, they can't investigate anything. Bunch of sperm-stealing anti-Americans. Can somebody chime in with me that appreciates constitutional law and show how the American Constitution is just dead? It's just communistic dead. It's just a human trafficking, greedy, pig, bigot, hypocrite dead. Bigot, bigot, bigot. America, people.com. It ain't nothing but a Mark Zuckerberg, Dr. Michael Colgrove, Dr. Chris Young, human trafficking, anti-American. Bunch of bigots. Bunch of hypocrites. Bunch of greedy people. Are you greedy, Governor Abbott? Is your family a human trafficker? A sperm-stealing pig? Well, welcome to being an anti-American. I'm not anti-American, Governor Greg Abbott. Just like your Mike Huckabee government, your Joe Biden government, your Donald Trump government. I hate bigots. I hate lying hypocrites. I hate human traffickers like my sperm's a commodity. On JW.org, Jehovah's Witnesses say the wild beast is the United Nations. I think that's the 8th king. Let's skip down here. Revelation 17, start at verse 11. And the wild beast that was, look you up in JW.org. And the wild beast that was, but is not, is also an 8th king. But it springs from the 7, and it goes off into destruction. Then the 10 horns that you saw mean 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but they do receive authority as kings for 1 hour with the wild beast. These have one thought, so they give their power and authority to the wild beast. These will battle with the Lamb, but because he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings, the Lamb will conquer them. Also those with him who are called and chosen and faithful will do so. This is the part I wanted. Verse 17, really. He said to me, the waters that you saw where the prostitute is sitting mean peoples and crowds and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns that you saw and the wild beast, these will hate the prostitute and will make her devastated and naked, and they'll eat up her flesh and completely burn her with fire. For God put it into their hearts to carry out his thought. Yes, to carry out their one thought by giving their kingdom to the wild beast, meaning the United Nations, until the words of God have been accomplished. And a lot of this deals with Daniel in various ways. Daniel chapter 12 says it's sealed until the time of the end. See 12:1. I'd show it. There's that dog over there chewing on a bone, big bone. Their teeth. Since the scum has moved in, the Michael, David, Patricia, I don't know if it's Shane, since 2020 or 2021, hog hide, deer bones show up frequently. My dog's all the time dragging them up, kind of like a Frank Walter type of society that I don't have anything in common with. My dog's teeth have worn down prematurely because they're all the time chewing on bones. Because the poaching pigs, because that Nicole, Shane, I don't know them, running their hunting dogs. Like Brian used to be with Becky. I might not read all of it, but is that in the What Does the Bible Really Teach? Shoot. Good, I got to that book. You have to take time to read some of this yourself. I'm not going to read all of it. It used to be yellow. Why is that one not yellow? Anyway, to summarize Revelation chapter 18, because of spiritistic practices, you know it's a religious entity, like the Vatican in Italy, worth between $10, $14 billion, I read last year, this year. The Vatican, for example, the Catholic religion, something I've known for a number of years, Ivanka Trump, it's Nancy Pelosi. It's the second largest religion in the world. The first largest is Islam or Muslim. I read this year that its estimated worldwide worth is $11 trillion. It'd be interesting just on Christianity. They'll call it Christianity. Let's see if I can get to that. I don't think I've ever looked it up. 1.3 trillion. I don't know, I didn't read it all. Demographics, 5 trillion there. I like the screen recording because I show my sources without having to say all of it. And there's probably a lot of violent factions within that one. 11.3 trillion. I keep saying find. Yes, the United Nations regularly provides significant monetary funding to various African countries for humanitarian aid development. But that's something I read. That's trying to figure out how to, I think, to fund UN Emergency Aid Fund releases $110 million for March 5th, 2025. I don't know what area. UN News. many there are. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's stupid. See, here's the thing. Chemical energy, I'd have to know more. I'd have to know more. It could be they aren't the most efficient energy all the time. I'd have to know more. Fuel cell vehicle, good efficiencies. Okay, tank to wheel, battery. Now here's the problem. In summary, we'll read this here. Fuel cell vehicle, good efficiency, 60% energy intensive to make. Battery electric vehicle, BEV. Battery electric vehicle, BEV. Very high efficiency, 99% tank to wheel. Lower overall energy cost. Now the problem with the battery electric vehicle is how you get the energy to charge the battery. Because in most cases, it's coming from fossil fuels or coal or petroleum-based something. So on the back end, see, it gets complex, I guess. You'd want to come up with an equation, whether or not you factor in semi-truckers. Imagine if every American commuter, come up with an equation, come up with a formula. What would it be like on the energy grid right now if every working America, for example, we don't want to factor in school buses, whatever, unless you make a battery enough big enough for that. Let's just say like Tesla or whatever. Just imagine if everybody within a week converted to that, and imagine what that would do to the grid. It'd probably overload it. You'd be in a lot of trouble. And think of all the infrastructure changes you'd have to make. And I want to know more. I'll try not to upload the prior video, but I want to upload this one if they let me. Because I badmouth President Donald Trump, some others pretty good, and I probably shouldn't put that out there. But that my being a peacemaker, or my trying to be respectful if I do upload it on social media. Think about how upset I was doing that Facebook Live video when I found my mother dead, August the 4th, 2020. And I'd done 3 petitions for involuntary commitment on my mother that year. I almost could feel something evil or sense something evil with the name association. When I was doing the very first or second involuntary commitment with that office at the prosecution office, Mount Arkansas, USA, not India, not Oklahoma, but that Rebecca that used to be married to a Chris, some kind of snitch, that told me at the Deborah G. Dudson Center, ever since he bought stock in Viagra, it never went up. And he says, I guess people don't want to have sex. I don't like him. I don't like most of these people. They don't represent me. They represent wanting some kind of stake in my estate or my inheritance or my offspring behind my back. You ever met, hey, Rebecca, Crystal, Anna, you ever met a coward? You ever met an extortioner? Look in the mirror. Look at each other. You ever met some anti-Americans? Name of the 13th Amendment, Anna, crisis interventionist. God, you're an idiot. God, you're an idiot. God, you're evil, Anna. Anyway, when I was in the Rebecca office, trying not to say last name, victim witness coordinator, and she's behind the computer. I'm sitting in front of her desk, and she's asking, like, what was my mom's maiden name, which is White. I feel like they developed that on purpose in advance. Maybe so. Maybe not, but I could almost sense something evil. And the very first time I went to that office door was 2012, 2013. When I spoke to the state trooper, Chris, I gave him to go outside, and I saw the prosecutor, Andy, standing with John Maddox, Rebecca, state trooper, Chris, whoever. There's about 4 adults standing. I had a few people waiting out in my Nissan Frontier. Debbie, Shannon, and Scotty's nephew was the driver. Anyway, on the first or second involuntary commitment, Scotty used to drive a pickup like that. May or may not show it. Last name starts with a W, as in Ward. Wisdom. Anyway, when Rebecca, she's filling out the involuntary commitment thing, and she's like, what's Debbie's, my mom Deborah, Scotty speaking. There's been a number of Scotties in this area over the years. One of them died, or he went by the first name Scotty. That was with Donna. Well, anyway, so I say White. Anyway, I just started picking up President Donald Trump, everybody else, in the past couple of years on the increase that these people are fixated with name association, word, trickery, like Norman, Oklahoma, in place of Norman, Arkansas, or the name Bob Food City, the Bob down Liberty Road that sells elderberries to Canada. As far as I know, I've never met him. They're obsessed with people that rode my school bus. People from California. These people are evil. Look up in the Bible, Gilead, a town of evildoers. The land's filled with adulterers. They don't even know how to speak truth or teach it. Do you, Rebecca? Do you, Crystal? Do you, Anna? You're brainless like Michelle, pal Michelle. Let me go ahead and tell y'all that. In about March 2020, not long after sunset, right about the time of the COVID-19 repercussions, Michelle calls me. Not the Michelle that's about a year younger than me. She's real pale. She's got a girl with her. I don't know, it sounds like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, I don't know. I could hear her in the background. She's like, I'm on the phone with Scotty, she tells this kid. And that's like a pattern of these people. They stalk you. I don't know, they're sick. It's like if they got your offspring, they're sick. They're evil human beings, like Sarah, like my 5th grade English teacher. Let me tell her real quick. Let me go and tell this account. I'm gonna try to tell 2 accounts. I'm at 24 minutes. I just turned 25 minutes. I need my jacket on. Breezy, no shirt on. It's December. About to pee. Okay, when I was getting blood drawn day before court, August 26, 2025, and I don't think that's cowardly. Yeah, I'm trying to use, sometimes you gotta show up to court to show something if you're wanting another continuance. So I'm some things I need to do anyway. I'm trying to use that to either get out of court or postpone it. That doesn't make me a coward. I mean, like Larissa and them, they'll lie and say they got COVID farther back. I discern that, and they don't even have to show up back 2021, 2022. Anyway, what made that ugly, nasty Sarah, 5th grade English teacher, walk in there? I kind of chit-chat with her. I'm like, hey, that looks like Sarah Doe, Jane Doe. I was being polite after I sat down. The way she said, I told her I suspected I had cancer or something. I was going to try to get it checked out. And the way she looked at me and said, she says, I hope you and your family do well. That's a pattern to these wicked, stalking, SECT group, evil people, evil. We'll have to look up a scripture here in a little bit where Jehovah's, his word says he'll sow the seed of a man. Somewhere else it says he'll sprout from his own place. One of them is in Zechariah. I have to look up the other one. I don't remember if that one's in Zechariah or not. But anyway, when I was about 14 or younger, Sarah picked me up from right here. And we went to the river south of the Black Springs store. Now you won't, MC, normally when I bring that up, I'm like, oh, I'd like for her to buy that property. You're not going to hear me talk that way. Unless or until something changes. For me to respect her engagement that I learned of yesterday. And I'm going to do my best to not actively, I think I deleted that one Gmail earlier. I won't be creating Gmails with her name in it, blah, blah, blah. You got me? I created another one earlier today that says Scotty David-Abbott. It's just the most respectful thing I can do, and it's deserved. You got me? It'll either make her do one of two things. She'll either hurry up and marry Maxx faster, or it'll make her be like, whoa, or it'll make her be like, analyze her subconscious motives. Because she's going to get a slap in the face over it. I ain't bowing down to her. Read Psalm 45. She's supposed to bow down to me. Oh boy, we'll find out one way or another. We'll find out one way. I've been a very respectful man. I've been a very good man. I've said lots of romantic things. I don't get much respect for it. Anyway. Hey, you don't know how to drive right. Frank, Chris, you're a pig of Satan. You're a coward. Noise polluter. You ain't nothing but a noise polluting pedophile pig. You going to Ken and Lois's. You going to have a Sunday lunch at John Maddox II. Somebody needs to throw that pig out of office. Donald Trump won't give me the power to do it. I would already done it. I won't let him starve. I'd throw Andy Reiner and them out of office in a heartbeat. Or I'd find something else for him to do. Andy Reiner probably deserves a $15,000 a year pay cut. Or more. He don't deserve to be a judge. That's an idiot. That's a nasty SOB. Probably a pedophile. Probably loves the dark web. Child pornography. Probably Taylor makes it. Without AI. One of my jokes is Mark Zuckerberg. He's like, this AI we've been using on the behind the scenes developmental tools lab, AI child porn, AI child pornography to use bait for the FBI investigators. Like they always cut it. We want the real deal. We want it live and real. We don't want it AI generated. It doesn't get our jollies off. David White, you're a pig. You're not even a man, David White. You're like Bob Clausen. A coward. You don't know how to investigate anything, David White. Bob Clausen. You're not even worthy to be called investigators. From a detective or a journalist. You're just not worthy. Cowards. Cowards. White men cowards. pigs. By pigs, I mean bigots, hypocrites, extortioners. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Human souls, Revelation chapter 18. Look up the context, somebody. Anyway, Sarah, I'm trying not to say her last name. If it will help me get something uploaded. Oh, I have no problem with saying her last name. Anyway, Sarah picked me up when I was like no older than 14, younger than 15, I think, out of this driveway, or like on a weekend. We go for up to 30 minutes an hour, give or take, south of the Black Springs store. She's wanting to talk to me about the Bible and see if I'm going to get saved, accept Jesus into my heart. That's all they know. That's all they think. Idiots. They're brainwashed. I think I end up just saying it just to shut her up. She ended up telling me that her daddy done something sexual to her when she was younger, and she told on him, and he wept, sobbed in the church, and everybody knew why. See, I think some of these people enjoy that, enjoy getting them in trouble. I think it warps their brain. Like, folks, I don't know if I don't know if these type of investigators exist in America, NYC, Special Victims Unit. Like, I think that Anna, the crisis interventionist, I think some of these people have been molested. Dr. Drew Panitsky, maybe you can cross-reference to some people that can do this better than you. You may know the concept. I mean, you might be one of the better ones. You know, Dr. Drew, there's some things you can probably explain better than Dr. Phil, and then Dr. Phil can probably explain some things better than you. I get that, you know, you're not a specialist. You know a lot of things broadly, Dr. Drew. Just a good categorical, especially just, you've been around the block, General MD, Board Addiction Certified, how do you say it? Board Addiction Certified Medicine Specialist. I can't even say it. I'm quoting Adam Carolla. I heard it so many years back. But anyway, here's what I want to say. And I wish other people can help this and even cause it to be investigated with humanitarian rights. I'm not trying to do it cruel-hearted. Well, okay, whether Anna is a sociopath or not, this is something I think I suspect, folks, that she was possibly molested as a child by her daddy, her mayor, EMT, paramedic daddy, or somebody like that. And then, but she don't tell on him. But subconsciously, she may resent it. And she's doing what I call like a transference. They think they got some hard data on me because of the adultchat.net or nudist colony photos. Just say my past online activity. Where this man right here is never, ever molested a child in his life and never been a peeping Tom. Flat out. You got me? So let's get that out of the way. So what I think what some of these pigs are doing, and by pigs I mean bigots, hypocrites, or goats, Matthew chapter 25, just so you don't think I'm speaking nonsense. I think some of them, okay, even if they haven't been molested, they don't take the time to properly, legally investigate me. I've never been charged, United States Supreme Court. Statute of limitations may or may not have lapsed. You would think by now it would be inadmissible evidence if we went by the book. If I had a prestigious legal team, you'd think I would be able not only get it dismissed, I'd be able to countersue the people that have tortured me through this going on half a decade. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what I'm getting at, some people, like let's just say Anna, for example. Let's say she has, like Sarah. Let's say they have been molested. Well, Sarah has admitted. So I think they're doing the transference. They're wanting to make me the target of who they never got to punish in their childhood past. Does that make sense? But simultaneously, and or compounded, whether or not some of them people have been molested in the past, they don't want to do consciously and or subconsciously a mix thereof. They don't want to do an objective investigation on me because they're greedy. They're lying to themselves. They want my estate. They want control of my offspring. They want control of however you folks have made money off of me. And then they want to strain out the gnat and say, oh, unemployed, or you never had a COVID-19 vaccination. And I pick up all that. Everybody, United States Supreme Court, President Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Ivanka Trump, Governor Greg Abbott, you're getting on my bad side. I was hoping to get more objectivity out of you. Well, anyway, just think about it on the common sense humanitarian side. After I made out all these, the medical malpractice reports, or the Dr. Michael Cogrove experience in 2021, online from what happened in 2019, regarding the secret pregnancy. Nobody has ever approached me with humanitarian information. Nobody's ever said, yeah, Scotty, you have a kid, or yeah, Scotty, this and this happened. The online system, I don't know, it would say child support a lot. A year and a half, 2 years ago, roughly more, it'd say child support, pay your bills, work. And then they acted like, I can't keep up. I don't know, it's done all kinds of cruel things to me. Like they're doing to my penis now. Who's doing it to my penis? I've wondered. I think it's Pentagon and or the United States military, with or without Alaska. It's hard to say. I see this is how Jehovah God's going to destroy the government. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. I can't trust the Arkansas government. I can't trust the federal government. Because, believe me, I can go either way with it. Say it was all the federal side. It's like, you give me the power over Arkansas State, I'll make it stop somehow or another without military force. I'll get you attention somehow. And then if it's Arkansas State doing it, and President Donald Trump wanted to work with me, say, give me a team, I'll make it stop. Yeah, give me some good, just give me some good IRS people. I'll give them where it hurts. I'll start freezing their bank accounts. I'd be like, if I could do it legally without the United States Supreme Court or some kind of federal prosecutor, I'd get their attention. I'll make them stop. Be like, tell you what neighbor James told me? He said way before C.G. Roxanne LLC was out here, he was using his bulldozer, to smooth out the river crossing. Because of flood and erosion, he said that somebody from the government, state or federal, approached him and said if he didn't quit doing that without a permit, he'd get fined like $10,000 or $15,000. It might be $20,000 a day. He said he ended up getting a permit at some point, maybe directly and indirectly through C.G. Roxanne. I really don't know. But what I'm trying to say, whoever's doing this to my penis or whatever, and we know President Donald Trump made Department of Defense get more money, I'd start threatening them every single day you bother him and do that, we're going to fine you. We're going to do something to you. Think about it though, in Daniel chapter 11, musters a crowd or an army. But anyway, seemed like I had something else to say. Anyway, I got two things I wanted to upload. And now I'm afraid I'll go over there and try on TikTok to upload it, and then they'll mute me. Or what they do earlier, cap cut it. I couldn't find it on the regular upload. And some of these things I'm trying to upload for the betterment of others. Like the last screen recording I took, I wasn't bashing Miley. I was talking, I just in a joyous way wanted to go upload it on Facebook. I hate Facebook. I hate the online experience. I've hated it increasingly. Folks, United States Supreme Court, how many years has it been since I've even gotten to communicate with somebody on Facebook or whatever? And the way they come and just say no, to me, it comes off like Satan. They think they're letting, Jesus Christ to let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Well, anyway, these people are straightening out the gnat, go up and down the camel on me. Well, let's look up then. Something these people don't do. I discerned it must be their community effort. Galatians 5:14, for the entire law has been fulfilled in one commandment, namely, you must love your neighbor as yourself. My neighbors hate my guts. My neighbors take advantage of me. My neighbors go out of their way to create what I hate. And what about the guy that became a youth pastor by the first name Nathan? Has he not molested kids in more than one state? I'm talking about the guy that tried to molest me. Is she throwing up or just coughing? Jasmine, now she's stretching. I won't say MC other than that way. Galatians 5:14, letter reference in. Let's read all the letter references. Leviticus 19:18. You must not take vengeance nor hold a grudge against the sons of your people, and you must love your fellow man as yourself. I am Jehovah. Matthew 7, verse 12. All things, therefore, that you want men to do to you, you also must do to them. This, in fact, is what the law and the prophets mean. I don't know Michael, Patricia, David. I don't want them in my business. I mind my own business. I don't want their estate. Well, I think I do now because I deserve it out of restitution. Without anger, I want them to move out. I don't like them people. They don't represent me. They represent what I hate. They represent thieves, deception. Michael, Patricia, David, Chris, the doctor, Chris, Frank. Matthew 22, verse 29. The second like it is this, you must love your neighbor as yourself. Romans chapter 13, verses 8 and 9. Do not owe anything to anyone except to love one another, for whoever loves his fellow man has fulfilled the law. They hate my guts without due cause. For the law code, you must not commit adultery. You must not murder. You must not steal. You must not covet. And whatever other commandment there is summed up in this saying, you must love your neighbor as yourself. James chapter 2, verse 8. If now you carry out the royal law according to the scripture, you must love your neighbor as yourself, you're doing quite well. Read a little bit more on that one. But if you continue showing favoritism, you're committing sin. And you are convicted by law as transgressors. Let's read this real quick. Let's read a few more verses in James chapter 2, straight verse 1. My brothers, you are not holding to the faith of our glorious Lord Jesus Christ while showing favoritism, are you? For if a man with gold rings on his fingers and in splendid clothing comes into your meeting, but a poor man in filthy clothing also enters, do you look with favor on the one wearing the splendid clothing and say, you take this seat here in a fine place, And do you say to the poor one, you keep standing or take that seat there under my footstool? If so, do you not have class distinctions among yourselves? And have you not become judges rendering wicked decisions? Listen, my beloved brothers. Did not God choose those who are poor from the world's standpoint to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he promised to those who love him? It does happen with some of the rich. It's just less rare. It's just not as common. I said it backwards. But you have dishonored the poor. Is it not the rich who oppress you and drag you before law courts? Not always, but more often than not, it's the wealthy. Jesus Christ said it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle, metaphorically speaking, than a rich man to enter the kingdom. He also said you can't be a slave for two masters. You either love one and hate the other. Like I said about Miley earlier today, one of her hobbies she loves dearly is fashion. I guess you could say she's tackled the sobriety or no drug use. And some people don't even survive doing that, you know. It caused me some problems just recently with my lungs. But do they not blaspheme the fine name by which you were called? If now you carry out the royal law according to the scripture, you must love your neighbor as yourself, you're doing quite well. But if you continue showing favoritism, you're committing sin and you're convicted by the law as transgressors. Where does it say gold rings? I'm about to pee. Maybe I can do it right here. Ow, I have to walk over there. Did I already read it? Yeah, I did. Here's for Anna and Sarah and whoever it applies to. Exodus chapter 20, starting at verse 12. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live a long time in the land that Jehovah your God is giving you. Verse 13, you must not murder. 14, you must not commit adultery. Let's keep going. Down to about 20 or 22. You must not steal. You must not testify falsely when you're a witness against your fellow man. You must, now verse 17, this is where I wanted to go and stop with it. You must not desire your fellow man's house. You must not desire your fellow man's wife, nor his slave man, nor his slave girl, nor his bull, nor his donkey, nor anything that belongs to your fellow man. Let's go ahead and do the 1 Corinthians chapter 6 down to verse 11. That would be a very good stopping place if it's getting the audio on this. How sad if it doesn't. Let's start at verse 9 to verse 11, 1 Corinthians. Or do you not know that unrighteous people will not inherit God's kingdom? Do not be misled. Those who are sexually immoral, idolaters, adulterers, men who submit to homosexual acts, men who practice homosexuality, thieves, greedy people, drunkards, revilers, and extortioners will not inherit God's kingdom. And yet that is what some of you were. But you have been washed clean. You have been sanctified. You have been declared righteous in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and with the Spirit of our God. Meaning you quit being those things. If you was a homosexual, you quit. If you was a cigarette smoker or drunkard, you quit. If you was a greedy person, a thief, a murderer, a rapist, you quit. You repented from dead works. I'm at 50 minutes and 18 seconds. I guess I'm going to stop there. Not till I get to upload it. I have to try. Do I have anything else to say? Let's pause on for Ivanka Trump mothers. What the Mosaic Law was summed up in. Check Acts chapter 15, verses 28-29. Do research on jw.org. Abstain from blood, fornication, idolatry, which includes drunkenness and illicit drug use. Some of those things I guess, a little bit guilty of, but less and less. Like, I've had sexual threesomes in my day. I don't really have a desire to do that anymore. I'm naturally a one-woman man, so on and so forth. I'm naturally honest and not a thief, but I mean, a lot of us have sometimes a dominant leaning, like beer drinking or I've been indulgent, and sometimes even if you're a little bit overly indulgent in food or Red Bull or coffee, it doesn't exactly mean you're a glutton. I mean, you're allowed to enjoy those things to moderation. I mean, sometimes some people have a different effect on it. Some people enjoy it more, whether it's a medicinal management or not. Jesus Christ came eating and drinking. He just didn't overdo it, and he didn't get drunk. There goes a mic. What's he doing? Going to get a pizza? The resurrection, Acts 24:15, John chapter 5, verses 28-29. Like during the 1,000-year reign, the 1,000 years, Revelation 20. Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, most likely will come back. Anne Frank, my mother, my grandparents. My mother and my grandparents will be resurrected back in this area. I don't know if David and Solomon will be yet, if they'll be resurrected here or over there in Israel. I don't have that figured out yet, or we'll find out in due time. But why I wonder that is think about the dynasty for David. 2 Samuel chapter 7. Second Samuel chapter 7, verse 10. I will appoint a place for my people Israel and settle them, and they will live there and not be disturbed anymore. And wicked men will not oppress them again as they did in the past, from the day that I appointed judges over my people Israel. And I'll give you, David, or within the root of David, rest from all your enemies. Also, Jehovah has told you that this is Nathan speaking on behalf of Jehovah to King David. Also, Jehovah has told you that Jehovah will make a house, footnote, or dynasty for you. When your days come to an end and you're laid to rest with your forefathers, then I'll raise up your offspring after your own son, and I'll firmly establish his kingdom. He is the one who will build a house for my name. And I will firmly establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will become his father, and he will become my son. When he does wrong, I will prove him with the rod of men and with the strokes of the sons of men. And that shows that doesn't apply to Jesus Christ if you analyze discernment. Or possibly Adam, meaning you might say imperfect men. I don't know if that's what that means there, but it just doesn't apply to Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ never had to go through that. And then also, unless the wording's wrong, wherever it is in Isaiah 50-something, and when it says when he sees his children and prolong his days, I don't think that applies to Jesus Christ, unless it counted as him having his disciples, his apostles, and got his ministry started for about 3.5 years. He knew in advance he's going to be murdered. He didn't become sick, but he got to be grief-stricken and crushed. He did. But I feel like there's a dual thing there with Jesus and my situation. Try to keep him there. Where's Daniel? one more scripture. I know I said earlier 1 Corinthians chapter 6 is a good a concluding place, but whoops, I passed it. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. Because I got 55, almost 56 minutes. I'm trying to keep it less than an hour. In the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed, and this kingdom will not be passed on to any other people. It will crush and put an end to all these kingdoms, and it alone will stand forever. And about Daniel chapter 7, chapter 8, it says, all will serve and obey them. I'm loosely paraphrasing. Another thing I really, really want, and I think some people within Watchtower Bible Tract Society are going to make this happen at the right time, is for jw.org to update, or even if they don't do it, however it happens, I'd like for them to do it, because there is a scripture somewhere, take the equipment from a useless shepherd, bring the low one high and the high one low. That may be in Ezekiel, you'd have to search it. But I used to think farther back too, that the end of the Great Tribulation is Armageddon. It's not. Read Revelation chapter 20. You also might want to focus on Revelation chapter 19. I thought this 2-3 years ago. I'd read it and I just didn't have the confidence yet or enough knowledge because I was afraid I'd stumble others. I'd read it. I'd even talk out loud 2.5 years ago. I'm like, I'm afraid I'm going to be teaching people. I'm like, I'm having to relearn some things here. And I was afraid I would just tell it wrong. Because farther back, like in 2007, 2009, give or take, I used to avoid reading Revelation. I'm like, I can't read that. I don't understand that. And there's still a lot in it today I don't easily understand. But as far as like Revelation chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 11 through 20, I'm getting pretty good. There's parts like where it talks about the frogs, wherever that's in chapter 11. I don't fully understand all that or know exactly what it means, but I'm getting it pretty good. Or I'm pretty proud of it, but or happy with it. Anyway, in true conclusion, the Great Tribulation starts. The JW.org tells this part pretty good. That the Great Tribulation is expected to start with Matthew 24, verse 21, with the attack on Babylon the Great. See Revelation 18 and JW.org. And what I screenshotted on here earlier. What does the Bible really teach? The yellow one may tell it a little different. I don't remember. I like how the yellow one describes Babylon the Great. The yellow, what does the Bible really teach? Keep in mind, why somebody did say earlier, Revelation 18 says, no more voice of a bride or bridegroom be found in you again in spiritistic practices, shameless luxury. So that's how we know it's a religious entity, not a commercial one like businesses, not the kings of the earth. And it says in Revelation 17 or 18 that the kings of the earth fornicated with that person, meaning a spiritual prostitution. Like a lot of your Baptist preachers will endorse political candidates. Contrary to God's kingdom, he's wanting to set up on this side of the start of the 1,000 years. Apparently, the time of the end begins with the start of the Great Tribulation with the attack on Babylon the Great. See Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. Anyway, the end of the Great Tribulation is the start of the 1,000 years. See Revelation chapter 20. Then at the end of the 1,000 years, Satan and the devil's let loose for a short period of time, one last final tempting. And then there very well will be the New Jerusalem or the new heaven may descend out, something not made with human hands. Don't need to overly focus on that right now. I think we'll learn more of it. I think there's going to be a kind of a twofold New Jerusalem. I may have it confused. Revelation chapter 3 in Revelation in association to the boundary line extension, in Micah chapter 7 in association to Daniel chapter 12:1 and Daniel chapter 2 verse 44. You know, and hopefully it's going to be the 12,000 stadia by 12,000 stadia. But also, we don't know. Apparently, Jesus Christ and some others may reside in it. I don't know exactly how that's going to be. But when I read the Revelation chapter 21, chapter 22, unless somebody can help correct me there, it's not made with human hands. Now I can't upload it on TikTok. I talk too much.